All right. Who had that first spiritual experience they'd like to share?
I have one.
Very good. Go ahead.
Go ahead, sister.
Okay. Well, this is a testimony from my spiritual package I received,
I love
and the
you.
package contains from AEO, and I've been practicing the clairvoyance exercise for a few months. So last week I started again to practice having a conscious ODE, and it normally starts off by me being outside, and I would see the top of a tree in my yard. So I lost focus and sleep.
Well, who back? Okay, I'm sorry, sister.
So I lost focus and slid back in my body. So I put a blanket over my eyes because the sunlight was entering my room. But as I lay there, I could have sworn I saw through my blanket and through my wall. I was shocked. So I grabbed a pillow to block more light and laid back down. And I could have sworn again I saw the fillers in my pillow. I was so shocked. I sat up I was so shocked. I sat up in my bed with my mouth wide open, eyes big, for about a minute or so. And the experience of this really caught me off guard. I couldn't believe it. It came back to me night. I was expecting it.
Well, of course, you know that was because you had activated your third eye, is becoming activated.
And the spiritual packages, they're real, guys. I'm telling you, they're the real deal.
I love you.
Can't stress that enough. Yeah.
I love all you all that tell the positive truth about the packages because I put a lot of love and information in them and power. So thank you. And I pray that you get more powerful experiences. Did you receive the last package yet?
I have to go to my mailbox. It's probably sitting there.
Okay. All right. Anybody else receive their spiritual package?
Yes, I did. This is Obi.
Well, I'm glad, Obi. You get started?
Yes, I'm working on it.
Okay, I love you. You didn't get a chance to get your DVDs played yet, though, huh?
I haven't got it yet, but I'm going to get it.
I'm excited to hear. All right. How about your son? Did he get started? Did he borrow something from you? Because he told me his package, they had got busted open, or they had tampered with it.
Well, right now he's having a little sickness in the family. His wife is in the hospital right now. And
how's she doing right now?
She's doing better. She said she had been having those bad headaches, and they threw around and found a little blood clot on her brain. So
is she home? She's home now, though, right?
No, she's still in the hospital.
Okay, I'll send some light on her right now.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. And you got started on your herbs, right, Ovi?
Yes, I did.
Very good, very good.
I haven't started taking the healing yet, but I'm working on the cleansing.
Right, exactly. And you're drinking enough water. All right. Anybody else? Thank you, Goddess. And you know to call me. I'm always here for you.
Yes.
Who has that next spiritual experience? Or that first question? Okay, Keeper, what was your spiritual experience, please?
Yes, I had all last week. I had nothing but dreams of different realities or whatever, but just crafts, just seeing crafts. And then the one that I had, just it was real interesting. Where I was at a house that I had grew up in, and I was in the backyard with a child, telling the child to look up. So we were seeing the same crafts that I usually see over here, but one of them was different. It was like 3 balls of light, but they were like all attached together. I don't even know how to describe it. Something was attaching them, some kind of lines. I don't know. So anyway, while we were sitting up there looking up, and it was a whole bunch of, it was so many people back there in their backyards. And it didn't even make no sense. But I mean, it was just crowded. It was just too. I don't even know how to describe it. But anyway,
well, I hope there was 144,000 gathering. Go ahead.
Well, then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, came these huge motherships that they were huge, and they had like these pink, like a soft pink, soft white, and soft blue lights going on around them. And these the ones that came out of there, they were dressed in all black. And
what the beings? What nationality were they?
I'm gonna be honest with you. At first, I thought it was like maybe some alien craft, but as they got down, because it was like military gear, it looked like that they had on. So they was just rounding all the people up and stuff and taking them. But me, I got on up out of there. I got on up out of there.
That's right.
After they had, after all of that stuff happened, to all them people that was back there, and they were all melanated too. All these people were melanated that was back there. I came back out, and I was the only one that nothing happened to. But whoever these individuals were, because I got the feeling like it was, maybe our government or, like a government type of situation.
Right. Like collecting people for FEMA or something. Yeah. Hey, man,
they ended up taking the people. I think they ended up taking their blood or something like that, and then they end up like putting a tracker or something like on them.
Well, let me say something to you all. If you ever imagine yourself in a scenario where you get gaffled up by those devils, and you were wishing you were in a situation where you could let somebody know where you are and what's happening, let me tell you right now, don't blow your chance of letting the world know what's happening. Contact everybody you can in the world right now and throw some light in that blind corner. Let your light shine. Make noise in the world. Make yourself be seen. Have a high profile. Those of y'all that's being quiet, they keep from being noticed, you're making a mistake. Because they're going to pick off those strays first. You hear me? You better make some noise. The high-profile people, the ones that's all in public media making noise, those are the last ones they want to touch because they know that people will be wondering what happened to them. They'll know about them. Those people really have a high profile, are visible. The light is shining on them. And the devil can't work in the light like he can in the dark. You better know that. All right, you got to mute the phone with the children in the background. You have to mute the phones with the children in the background.
I have a spiritual experience.
Very good.
Earlier today, I was taking a nap. It was something small. I had like two dreams where I wasn't really feeling it. One of the dreams I can't really describe that well, but it was somewhere where like, it was like in an ocean type, and again, I can't really remember that well, but I just remember like, I didn't want to be in the water because like, I could just feel like there was something in there that I shouldn't like. I just can't be inside. Like I saw like killer whales like going after like a whale and stuff like that, and etc. I was just like not feeling it. So I literally told myself, okay, let's dream something else. Like I remember saying like, okay, we're gonna change this dream.
Change the channel.
And then yeah, I did. I thought that was kind of cool. And then so I changed the channel or the dream, and this wasn't another good dream at all either. It was like I was with like some streamers, like people who like were like famous people who like stream online and stuff like that. I was hanging out with them, and they was messing with this like guy. He was like big, tall. He was like older, maybe in his 40s, bald, light skin, black a little bit. But like the way he acted was kind of like Frankenstein, as in like he had like a master or something, and like he like just wouldn't like, I don't know, he just wasn't functional. And then like until like his evil master like kind of like woke him up or something, and like, you know, he just turned like he was gonna get us. You know what I'm saying? Like he was slow, but it was like to a point where like you know, like in a scary movie, like if you start hiding, like sooner or later he gonna find you and stuff like that. So like I remember I wasn't really messing with him, but I think I was like just like messing around or something. Then sooner or later, while he was trying to come get us, I remember I was hiding. I remember I was hiding in this like small room, and I was just in there like sitting there thinking like, he's gonna get me. And if he gets me, like, no, but it was like thinking like when he comes up here, like I'm through, like I'm over with. So I literally told myself, I gotta get up. Like I can't experience like whatever's about to happen. So I told myself to wake up, and I did. So I don't know what the dreams was, but I think like in this situation, I think I was just kind of glad that I was able to recognize like it was a dream, and I was able to, one, change the channel, and two, like just wake myself up and not just like
that's
experience
right.
it. So,
and you have to remember that life is a dream. It's just a dream, and you can change the channel on life. You change your reality by simply changing your mind. And you change your mind by having positive inflow into your thoughts constantly. With these spiritual packages, you can keep the DVDs and CDs playing 24 hours a day, especially at night when you don't have a psychic self-defense. They'll attack or idle minds, the devil's workshop. Know that. And people always ask me, how do I raise my vibrations? One of the most obvious ways is by the post that I put together for you all and create and send out to you twice a week. Really take those posts and act like they're a gift from above, and listen to all those classes and DVDs and absorb that information, and it's going to go a long way in raising your vibration and expanding your consciousness. Rahubat, brother. Rahubat.
I had a vision also.
Very good. What is your vision?
Yeah, so my brother, his brother named Sobek, Nuben Day. He came by my house in St. Pete, Maror. So he was telling me about this lady named Empress something. And he said she supposed to be trying to get the master teacher out, right? So I kept trying to tell him this quotes in the holy tablets that represent the counterpart of Malachi as Amun-Rayay. I let him see the videos. He made copies of it. He put them on
YouTube. Your phone is breaking up, Aurora. Your phone is breaking up. Is it bad weather in Florida?
Hello.
Yeah.
Okay, you hear me now? You hear me now?
Yeah, your phone is breaking up.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you. It's just your voice is breaking up.
Oh,
so go ahead.
Okay. Well, the brother is named Sobek Nuben Day. And he came to my place and he was telling me about Pop should be out or whatever. And I like,
well, okay, that's a good thing to hear. But why don't you just call back in, Maror, and see if you can reestablish your connection better. All right?
All right.
Thank you. All right, who has that next experience? What's that first question? Yeah, go ahead, sister.
I have an experience I'd like to share. Here lately, I have had a lot of synchronicity, and, you know, on the clock or on my phone or whenever I look at time, it's like at 11:11 or 1:11. And for like 3 nights straight in a row, I would wake up around, I'm going to say 5:30 or 6, around that time in the morning. And I go to my window and look out, and the Messiah star would be there. the Messiah star would be there, and it would be very low in the sky. Typically, it's up high, but this was like almost down to tree length in height. And I took a couple of pictures of it. And then later on, also, the moon was out at just, I guess, before daybreak or whatever. And it was at the level of the tops of the roofs here. I took a picture of that, and it seemed, I think I caught it like it was moving or something because it was overshadowed. You could see an overcast on the...
Well, that's easy because you can move the moon. It may have been moving. You know what's happening. The people... That's right. When you all walk with me a while, you know, people are amazed to find that they get out their car, step outside at night. As soon as they look up at the sky, things are moving, and they don't have any conscious input. They don't have to say to it move, but think for it to move. Just as soon as they look, the moon and stars start moving. Who will bear witness to that?
I do.
I do.
I bear witness to it, but not even just the skies. Like some stuff in my house was moving.
That's wonderful. That's powerful. Because it's like the movie Videodrome. Watch these TV movies like Vanilla Sky and what have you, and Jumpers, etc. Because see what's happening is that the truth is that the walls and the furnishings in your house are no different than the stars. It's all part of the same three-dimensional hologramic light show. We can move all of this stuff. It's malleable. It's pliable. You can move it. It's not a fixity. It helps you realize and wake up to the truth that this is all a dream. A dream within a dream. And like the sister said, you can wake up from it and change the channel. You're projecting your own reality. Go ahead.
Like I've been able to, like, I don't know, like, I do know, but, like, predict certain things. Like, I was watching this new movie, looking up the movies you had us looking up, trying to find them for free, because the sister in Canada having trouble finding. Yeah, she having trouble because Canada got certain restrictions. But anyway, I found it, looking through YouTube, and it was called The Fifth Wave. And it's basically about an alien invasion that occurs, and people getting picked up by these aliens. It sounds like this reptile thing going on, similar to that.
Well, I'll tell you what we do. Not like the sister, Lakeisha in Canada. When you hear something like that, we should all make an effort as a family to make sure that we email the classes to her, the links to her. All right? And I will do that myself personally. Can you email them to her, Har?
Yeah, I email it to him, and then I ask her if the links work that way.
It will. All right. Thank you. I love you. We are responsible for one another. That's right.
Can you hear me? No, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can.
I was watching this video. Oh, go ahead, bro.
Go ahead, Har. Finish
talking, bro. No, I was watching this movie, and I was like predicting everything that would happen. It was kind of like
you waking up.
I was sitting there by myself, wishing somebody was there, like next to me, watching this happen. I'm like, yo, this is.
I know it. It's like hard to believe that you guessing everything is happening. But let me blow your mind even further. Let me tell you what's really happening, Har. You're not necessarily guessing what's going to happen next. You're creating it.
Wow.
You hear me, son?
Yeah, I hear you.
It's just like people trying to win the lottery. They're trying to guess what the white man going to do with the numbers. Instead of realizing the way you hit the lottery is by creating your own numbers.
The conference will automatically end in 5 minutes.
Katak, didn't you, it was either you or Patah that opened up that 774 room. Would one of y'all check into that and see why that room keeps going off? Please.
Yeah, because I did open it up. and I'm on it, and it just told me that I have 5 minutes before it.
It's been doing that.
Can I say something?
Yes.
When I go into class 172, they've been doing that to me every time I get in that class.
Yeah. The devil is trying to block the rooms, trying to alleviate them one at a time. Believe that. Reptilians are working in the dark. And they're like termites in your house.
That's right. Well, a lot of times they block me a lot. When I be getting in, they be blocking me a lot. I just want to let you know that.
That's right. That's right. But when they try to close the door, always open the window and know that the Most High is on your side. And when He's with you, nobody can be against you. Don't give power to the devil. They don't have any. And they're even out of time, right?
Yeah, they've been stopping me too from all the groups. They back to stopping me with the posts. They only like letting me do like 10 posts.
Well, I tell you, what you do is start opening up more.
I still keep going. I still do it anyway.
That's right.
All my groups.
That's exactly right.
So, I mean, they're not stopping.
Keep doing it. That's right. Because what it is the overwhelming numbers. It's like when Yakub came up from out the center of the world and started converting people to a new religion. And he had so many thousands of people that they filled up all the jails with his followers until they got to the point they had no more room to lock them up. And so they had to sit down with him and make an agreement to pay them to buy, 60 ships and, give them lots of money and invite them to just leave and go live somewhere else. You follow what I'm saying? Because there's nothing they could do with them. You have to do the same thing. Be overwhelming in your numbers and propagating your truth. Reach so many people that they can't do anything with you. There was another brother that had something. Go ahead.
I said yes.
Obi, you have something you wanted to say?
I don't think no, I just class.
Okay. Sister, you have something?
No, I just said yes. Just overwhelming with numbers. They can't do nothing with you.
That's exactly right. You have to increase your numbers, and you can't increase your numbers without contacting all these people. And the more people know you, the safer you are. The more isolated you are. You know how animals work. A wolf pack, for example, they follow the herd, and they wait for any strays to get separated from the group, and they pick them off. You follow me? But as long as ever since you've been a child, when you felt afraid, you ran to where the crowd was, where all the people, the lights and people, the grown, everybody. You don't want to be isolated. Don't isolate yourself. The devil is tricking you, trying to put fear in you so that you will isolate yourself. Contact people, raise up your family, make a loud noise, turn the lights on. All right. Now, who was that first question?
I got to experience more.
I have one.
Go ahead.
I got a question, too.
Okay. Let me get this first question, Marua. What is that first question?
Okay, so you came to me in a vision again this time, but it was about the man from Planet Risk, and you were showing me the circle, the line, and the square. And you were showing me crops burning down in from on high.
The conference will automatically end in 30 seconds.
You know?
Keefer, turn that class off, that 774 till we get it straight. I heard Katan and Patah gonna work on it. Go ahead. Go ahead, Marua.
Okay, so from on high, you was writing stuff in the clouds. And then, so it's weird because when I woke up, I recognized it was you in my vision, and I went to go lay back down. And when I went to lay down, it was like
conference
showing me visions. Showing me visions of crops burning, like from ships, and you know how they make patterns in the ground. How they make the patterns in the ground like that, and you was teaching me about it, and it was strange. I couldn't quite remember, but I just remember thinking of with my physical eyes what it was. I just want to let you know
I
that
do come to people and
that.
teach them in their dreams, but I want you all to listen to the CD that you get in your spiritual packages called Cosmic Traveler. How many of you have listened to that? Cosmic Travelers.
Cosmic Traveler, okay.
Oh, I have.
Yeah.
I have the disc.
Yes, I have.
And I put it on my phone, too.
That's good. Don't listen to it while you drive a car because it could take you out, you know.
No, I only do that. I only put it on my I only put it on my phone so that way, you know, I can have my.
And you know it's very important to follow all the instructions that it gives you. All right. Now that next question. Two brothers had a question.
Strong fact.
Yes.
Andrew.
Well, I'm glad to hear your tone.
Likewise, always a pleasure. Always a pleasure indeed.
All right.
So, something that I've noticed is that when we go out to move the stars, after we move them, they go back into their position.
Exactly.
Can you explain that?
Can you speak up a little bit? Yeah, nature has a natural order. Nature has a natural order. An example I use is like when you were kids, and you used to run outside and play on trees, and you would find a low-hanging branch and jump up and down on it and swing on it, and use it to raise up and down, and then somebody call you for lunch. You go inside, and when you come back out, that limb is right back in the same position it was before you originally jumped on it. Right? Or you walk across the lawn and you got footprints in the grass, right? You look back and see your footprints, and then when you come back, you can't see where you walked anymore. You follow me?
Yes.
Because nature reassumes its natural order. People have asked me, understand, when you move the stars, you ought not do that because you're taking them out their place. I try to explain to them that's only temporary because they have a natural order. They're gonna automatically gravitate back to the spot that they were placed in.
So in the same analogy with, like, you know, bending a tree branch or something like that, is it possible to move something so far that it's in a new position?
Not as far as the cosmic scale with stars. But I'll tell you, one time I had an attorney here, Cassandra Mumford, and she wanted me to move stars for her and some dignitaries at her office. So I went out there. I drove out there that night. We went outside, and her secretary, they were all asking me to move stars. Move this, move that one, move that. They were so excited. And I started moving this one star, and then somebody else asked me. It was running across the sky, and someone else asked me to move this other one, and I moved the other one. And the next thing I know, the one that she asked me to move had moved completely out of sight. So I don't know what happened to that star. You follow what I'm saying? I didn't see it go back in it, but I assume it went back where it was originally. You follow? I just assume that. But sometimes I move them completely move them off the screen, off the sky.
I got you.
Right.
Gotcha.
So the answer is I don't really know the answer to that, you know, except that what I can visibly see.
Right.
I had a bald-headed white policeman come over here. He was supposed to be working on the computers one night. Remember, I was moving the star. I asked him, how far do you think I can move the stars? He said, far as you want. And I did. I moved one of us, kept going to the left so far, I lost track of it. That was the same night. He was so evil. When I walked outside, I stood up, and he was standing by my car. And he turned around and looked at me. I was so tall, about, man, I must have been 13 feet tall or taller. And he fell all against his car, and I got people here to bear witness to it. He almost fell down on the ground.
He didn't realize he was moving the reality that much.
Say it again.
I said he didn't realize you would be moving the reality that much.
He didn't even realize that I could do it. until he bore witness to it and he saw it. But a lot of devils just don't like it. They get mad even when they see it. They just don't like it. Because they're really convinced, excuse my French, that a nigga ain't shit. That's what they believe.
Yeah.
They really believe we monkeys and all those stereotypes, right?
Yeah. And the people themselves believe they're just monkeys.
And that's something. Black monkeys, isn't that a joke? But any animal on the planet, you can shave the fur off it, and what color would it be?
White.
That's right. You can say a black cat, or you can say black cat all you want. That's black fur cat. Yeah, but animals are white. You have dominion over the beasts of the field and everything on the planet. You're the only creatures on the planet with melanin in your skin that are black. It's you, the human being. You're creating an image of life of the Most High. White people and animals are all the same, have the same pigment speed. Same eyes, same hair texture, same fur all over their body. It's called hirsutism. That's the beast. They can't shake the curse of leprosy, so they're trying to hypnotize you with the doll test on YouTube to make you think that being black is the curse. They're calling you the curse seed. They're calling you the curse seed. But they always say that they're a ham. Listen to me. Noah had 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. And Ham is the one that looked in on his father's nakedness. Noah woke up from his stupor and said, exactly, cursed be Canaan. A servant of servants will he be to his brethren. That's Ham's son. He cursed Ham's unborn son, Canaan. You follow me? Ham was never cursed. So when white people say they're a ham, they just tricking your mind. You can't be a Hamathite unless you're black. All right, I'd like everybody to get your holy tablets too, because I was inspired to reveal some. Just a minute, I'll be right with you. I was inspired to share something with you all about Christianity, a very hypnotic religion. Okay, go ahead, brother. I'm sorry.
Well, no, I was just saying I got disconnected, Mr.
I love you.
I have a question real quick.
Very good. Everybody get your holy tablets now. Go ahead, sister.
Could you explain the differences between the new heaven and new earth? Are they the same or is it different, like realities?
They are different realities. Because in the new heaven and the new earth, they are synonymous. You have to understand the attributes of a person in the new heaven and the new earth is that, scripturally speaking, there'll be no more hunger, no more thirst, no more crying, no more pain, no more death, for the former things will have passed away. Now I want you to apply your logical, intelligent mind. In what scenario could you imagine people existing where there was no pain, hunger, or death, or anything like that? In other words, let me ask you, sister, where you are right now, am I speaking to a physical or a spiritual being when I talk to you?
You're speaking to, both?
That's right. You had to think about it.
I did.
You are a spiritual being. And your spiritual aspect is the one that tells you don't eat that pig foot. Your spiritual aspect is the one that when you close your physical eyes and it's dark, you still see things in your dreams. You follow me? Now,
so the new...
Let me explain. When you turn yourself inside out to a spiritual being, as Father Babiano keeps saying, learn to turn yourself, make that journey within, and reconnect with the reality that you're a spiritual being having a physical experience, projecting a spiritual experience through a character and a story that you wrote. You understand me? So when you reconnect with the reality of who and what you really are, return to your long home, that's heaven. You're a spiritual being. And in the spirit, you never experience hunger or cold or disease or aging or death or any of those things. Because they're all illusions that belong to the physical realm. You follow me?
Mhm.
Now, a lot of people think, well, if I'm a spirit, I'm going to miss the sun on my face, eating a Whopper and having sex, getting high. I'm not saying that's what you want to do, but, being stimulated physically. That's an error, because you are a whole light being. When you were having that dream, did you feel like you were missing legs, or did you feel just like you do right now?
Yeah, I felt the same.
That's exactly right. But you understand that in that dream, you were not physical, right?
Right.
You were spirit. But you're a whole light being, not a part light being. So people have been you see, there was a time when the Most High commanded the angels to go down and shape the body of Adam so they could blow his breath into his nostrils and make him become a living soul. And the angels had the earth say to them, are you going to create one that runs on our back and commit sin, etc.? And the angels listened to that argument and went back before the throne of the Most High and said, I couldn't do it. I didn't do it because the earth implored me not to make this man out of mud until the Enki was sent, and then he told the earth, it's far more incumbent upon me that I obey the Most High than to listen to your cries. And he formed the body of Adam, and the Most High blew his spirit finally into the body of Adam. And then he told Adam when he did that, since you resisted my command originally and didn't want to go into the body, I'm telling you that the day is going to come, this is my punishment, the day is going to come when you're going to hate leaving that body. You're going to beg not to leave. And they thought it was a joke, but that day is here for many of you already, isn't it? You're terrified at the thought of leaving that physical body. Go ahead.
Sorry. I said, so what would the new earth be like then?
What it is like, in other words, I'm straddling both realities. Like Malachi said to me in Solomon's temple, he jumped off the stage, came to me, and he walked up to me. I was standing against the back wall. He said, you belong to two worlds. That's why you're not having any fun at this party. And when he was walking off, I said to him, you too. And he threw up his finger and just shook his hand like, yeah, I know. But I've been to the new heaven and the new earth. And many of those attributes I even brought here. Like I shared with you all, moving stars, you can do that in the new heaven and the new earth. You can't do that. Humans can't do that. When some of you come to walk with me in the summertime, when it's real hot, and you're walking behind me in the hot sun, you'll notice on the pavement that my footsteps will leave green steps on the street, and they'll fade as I walk. I know, I love you. People that have been walking with me, they bear witness to that. You see the green light in my face, or a 6-pointed green star in my forehead. Yeah. And sometimes if I'm standing outside in the parking lot, moving stars, you feel the wind blowing around me like a vortex. A lot of these things happen when you're with me. And when you start bearing witness to these things, you start to be able to do them. Because you start transforming into a spiritual being again. You start moving into heaven and away from earth. When you move in stars, you straddle into realities. Human beings can't do that. When I hear you from a distance, that's because we're vibrating on the same frequency. Human beings can't do the things that, I remember one time I was walking down the street in heaven, and it was a street like on earth, but it was beautiful. It had large trees with a mid-ground, and they they were bending over where the boss, the big branches at the top, were testing each other across the street, and they formed kind of a tunnel down the street. Y'all know what I'm talking about. It was beautiful. And they had the sidewalks and houses on both sides. I'm walking down the street, and I see this big gold mansion, and I know that's my place. But I saw a shadow of him. I looked up, it was Malachi. He was flying over my head, and he was tumbling head over feet, head over heels. And I asked him, I said, why are you doing that? And he just kept going. He said, I always do this. When you all have dreams and you feel like you're flying in a dream, or when you get ready to come out of the dream, you feel like you're falling and you get scared, but you never hit the ground, how are you getting up? Where are you falling from? Let me explain to you. When you're a fallen, mute your phones. When you're a fallen angel, you're a spiritual being. And then what happens, don't do that. Mute your phone. When you're falling, you're actually falling asleep. You understand? Just like when you're dreaming inside the dream, and you go to a dream, there's a demon right there that don't want me to wake y'all up. They know how to star 6 the phone, and I know who it is too. And people give me complaints about this person, trying to condition them and program them negatively. Just keep on playing. All right. When you go to sleep inside the dream, when you start waking up and you feel like you're falling, you're not falling from the sky. You never hit the ground because you didn't come from the ground. What you're doing is actually falling asleep back into this reality. You're waking up inside of another dream. Do you understand? That's the falling asleep. Can anybody hear me?
Tua.
We can hear you.
Yes, we
And
can hear
people think that they...
We can hear you. We can hear you.
People think, when I say, I know you can hear me audibly, but do you understand what I'm saying?
Tua.
I'm not trying to confuse you. But you're waking up, every time you wake up, you're waking up into a dream, inside of a dream. And you can change the channel, and you control it. And you don't give the devil any power in your dream. But they're trying to control your thoughts because they know that your thoughts, you are the deity. For example, when you look up the video, the doll test. Just type in on Google, the doll test, YouTube. The doll test. Don't ignore me, write it down. The doll test. DOLL. When they program people to believe that white people are superior and honest and good and all these wonderful things, and black people are dirt and evil and nothing and ugly, once you start believing that the white man is God, like in their pictorial Bible, Jesus is God and everybody is white, and the angels, everybody's white, they know that you are God. They know that you are the creator. And whatever they convince you of as a man or woman thinketh, so is it. So when you think he's God, you're putting him in heaven and yourself in hell. You better wake up. You creating all of this. You better wake up and wake up all your brothers and sisters and snap out of it. I'm telling you, you better wake up, quit clowning. The white man's got you scared to wake your brothers and sisters up. You better wake yourself and them up as fast as you can with all your might. You better go to work and wake up, I'm telling you, and wake everybody up, sound the alarm. If I had a hammer, I'd hammer in the morning all over this land. I'd hammer out danger and hammer out a warning. I'd hammer out the love between my brothers and my sisters all over this land.
That's right.
You better wake them up.
Tua.
Yeah. Imani is scared, talking about, I'm scared to wake up my brothers and sisters. That's the devil programs you. Where the fear come from? You better be afraid to be isolated and keeping yourself in the dark. You stray away from that crowd of brothers and sisters. You're supposed to be waking up your family that's going to be with you in heaven. Wake them up. And when you lead people to heaven, remember who gets there first. The leader does, you. The more people you wake up, the safer you become. That's the real formula, not the dial test. Next question.
I have a question.
Rahul back.
It's a Patah, Hotel Amun.
Rahul back.
All right, Patah. How's your wife doing?
She's doing her best. I just left the hospital and she in good spirit. They're gonna see how tomorrow they're gonna have the neurologist come around and look at her brain and see how it's doing. If she's doing pretty good, they might put her in a room or they might send her back home if she's doing real good. But she's progressing real good and she's in good spirit. So
now they giving her that Coumadin to thin her blood to try to dissolve that clot?
Yes.
All right. Okay.
All right.
Go ahead. I love you.
I do too.
I love you. Next question.
I love all.
I need you all to get your holy tablets. And another thing you all will notice to get the spiritual packages, you have a CD in there with the complete holy tablets on it. It works in the computer. It's put in the computer, and it's easier to go through than the book itself. And all the pictures are in color, and everything is nothing missing.
And I will be mailing that out tomorrow.
I love you.
I love you too.
And that's Keeper. She mailed it out to me the first time. Her sister Melanie did that work. And I've been giving it to you all as a gift like she gave it to me. All right. Next question. Did you all get your holy tablets? If you don't have your holy tablets and you're not taking the link, look at the last email that I sent you for last class, and you'll see the holy tablet link on it. Just click it. Or either go to Google and type in the holy tablets, Malachi York, PDF. The holy tablets, Malachi York, PDF, and you'll be there. You need to go there now. Next question.
I have a question.
I want to wake y'all. I'm going to show y'all something about this spell in just a minute. Go ahead.
You can go, sister.
Okay.
Thank you.
So when I travel through the etheric cord, now I see a small light at the end of the cord. It's very far away. It looks like a tiny star.
Yeah. Have you ever heard? You see, that's what angels are. A simple electromagnetism, a spiritual being. Like Bennett, the bright star, right? That flies across the sky like a comet. That's Bennett. Bennett is plural for the children. Ben is singular for son. So when you're outside of your body, you look like a star. Have you ever heard when you were young, people in near-death experiences said that they went up a tunnel and there was angelic beings standing there and asking them, questioning them to see if they were through and learned what their lessons were. If not, they had to send them back because it wasn't their time yet.
Right.
You have guardians over the gates of heaven that'll send you back if you haven't learned your lesson sometime. You follow me?
Yes.
Right.
Okay. So the tiny stars.
All of you are, all Anunnaki are stars, okay? All of you look like stars when you travel at night outside of your body. You're really traveling when you dream you in Egypt or in Florida or you dream you in California or London. When you dream in these dreams, you're traveling across the sky, and when people see you that's out and woke at night, you look like a fallen star to them or a meteorite. A ball of light with a tail swimming behind it. That's really people. And that's you streaking across the sky or somebody else, And when you see a falling star, they're dropping down to visit somebody in a dream, their brother, sister, or somebody else.
Oh, wow.
They're traveling. Do you understand?
Yes.
If this is not making sense to people, please question it. Because the way I'm going to teach you all is I'm going to use your own experiences to confirm the truth to you, right?
Right.
It's not coming out of a book. It's coming through me from the Most High. Because nobody understands creation better than the creator of it. I want you to hear me. Not Jim Jones or Joe Blow or the black witch doctor or Mama this or Papa Grace and all this foolishness you're talking about on the internet. Lion 6 with his lion ass and all. Don't worry about that. Them niggas, they don't even know what you know. That's the blind leading the blind. They're talking loud and saying nothing, baby. It's like a dull knife. Just ain't cutting. Now you want to experience hell? Leave me. Next question.
Rahubat.
Rahubat. Rahubat. Rahubat. Any more questions before we go to the Holy Tablets? Go ahead.
Yes, sir. I have one.
Okay. I love you, son. How you doing, Zachary?
Oh, amazing.
That's amazing, son. I got every confidence in you. Go ahead. Speak up.
I was watching an old tape of Malachi before I went on one of these track trips.
And let me interject. I implore all of you to watch all of Malachi's classes. All you got to do is type in Malachi Z. York, lectures. Play all videos list, YouTube. Malachi Z. York, lectures. LECTURES. Play all list videos, YouTube. And they'll take you to a place with a lot of his classes there, and you just hit play all, and they'll play all night. And I'm going to tell you what's going to amaze you. People been listening to him for years, really didn't know that every class he's talking about me, the return of the Messiah, Jesus.
Yep. That's right.
That's all he's talking about.
That's true.
That's right. But you've been listening to him for years, but you didn't hear that. It's amazing.
That's right.
I want to share experience with you, Armand.
All right.
I'm going to let the brother finish. He want to ask this question first.
Okay.
Did he get his question out? Excuse me, brother.
Oh, no, I didn't finish.
Oh, go ahead.
So basically, he inside the video, he mentioned that when a lot of Negroes, like black, nappy-haired people, get together, we always wonder why it starts to storm or like thunderstorm. And then we're like, in real life, what always happens in Juneteenth, we always wonder why thunderstorms are like it rains on our Juneteenth every single year, and nobody knows why. And also the track meet that we go to, for some reason, it was like the rain's not in the forecast, but once we group up, it always rains like heavily for a few days. Even though
that's the power that you have. That's the collective power that you have. Wherever two or more gather, all things are possible. You got to wake up your brothers and sisters. Stop living in isolation. The devil has cast a spell on you. You going crazy. The thing that's going to destroy you and make you unsafe is isolation. Wake up and contact everybody you can while you have a voice to do it. The way they go on trying to ban books and all that, they blocking media. Those of you that are really familiar with public media know that, for example, on Facebook, they're taking down a whole lot of stuff. On Google, they're taking down a lot of stuff about black aliens and things you could. They banning Maya Angelou books. They're banning everything black. You better start getting on there where you got a voice before it's too late. And you wish you could contact people and you won't be able to. Next question. or we go on to the tablets. I want to explain the spell to you all. I want Prana Anu to explain the spell to you all. You have to understand something about the Holy Tablets. When you're listening to the Holy Tablets, you're not listening to the words of a man. That book, like the books that came through him and the information that comes through me, is coming from the Most High, from the Creator of the heavens and the earth. It's divine scripture. It's not a book written by some idiot, Lion 6 and all that. This is a real scripture from the Creator. These are divine words. And with that said, let me tell y'all where to go in the Holy Tablets. Now, if you're mentally lazy and don't go to the Holy Tablets, you're doing yourself a great harm. I don't want you listening and talking about Amun said. This is what your Creator is saying. Through the angel Michael, through the man, Panabab Yanun, you're going to go to chapter 10. Chapter 10, Tablet 11, 9 Ether. Let me know when you all are there. Go to the Holy Tablets. I don't want you listening talking about Amun said. This is coming through me like it came through Panabarianun. It's coming from your Creator of the heavens and the earth. You better recognize that. This is a holy scripture, the final scripture.
I'm there.
I'm there.
Okay. How many else?
Eight
in
the softback.
In the softback Holy Tablets on page 828.
So it's 3 in the softback.
It's chapter 10, tablet 11. What page does it have? It's 884 in the hardback. How many of you all going online and seeing it, hit the link for the Holy Tablet and went online and looked it up?
I'm there.
I love you.
I got it.
Good. I don't want people, listen, I have to emphasize, I don't want you listening to me. Listen to me, don't believe me, check it out. Just a minute. All right, tablet 11, 9 Ether. Lo, the slave mentality and European influenced religions, be it Christianity, Judaism, or Islam, or whatever denomination or sect, should all be eliminated. And this elimination will lead to right thinking. And right thinking will lead to right action for liberty and equality, with the help of the forces of nature. There's nothing wrong with violence for liberty and equality if you have a chance to win. But there is no chance without 9 ether spirit forces to counteract the adverse forces and show you the way to liberty and equality. And you cannot see the way until the mind's eye is opened. There is no solution to the problems and miserable conditions of people anywhere unless you have a solution that is workable everywhere. Wake them up. Offer all people a do-it-yourself solution until you get strong and united enough mentally to do what you must do together physically. All of you can work diligently and with determination towards eliminating this negative and slave mentality. You all can do this privately without committing suicide, by provoking the visible adverse forces to brutalities and atrocities against you, by joining the ancient mystic order of Melchizedek and reading and studying each tablet, you will thoroughly go a long way towards eliminating negative and opposing forces. This process leads to liberty and success for humanity in general. By opposing or adverse invisible forces, I mean the opposite of those visible adverse forces. There are forces of racism against all races that you do not see, that wear a smile and shake your hand. But behind closed doors, these principalities in higher places are responsible for trickling down racism and race wars. This is what I refer to as invisible adverse forces. If you have free minds, you will do free things. If you have equal minds to other races, you will do equal things, think equal or greater than other races. Because mental capacity as incarnations of original creative forces are greater than that of others. Once your minds break from prison, freedom requires a free mind and the responsibilities of a free mind. Equality requires an equal mind and the responsibilities of an equal mind. Universal knowledge called Nuwapu informs you new beings that there were three creations: original or primary creation, evolutional or secondary creation, and ghostational or tertiary creation. Primary creation was performed by nine ethers whose science is Nuwapu. Nine ethers, the combination of all existing gases of nature. Thus, all is in the all. Nothing anywhere can be as powerful as all existing gases, not part, all. Therefore, nine ethers is the most potent power in the universes. 9 to the ninth power of 9. 9 is a very meaningful number. It is symbolic of heaven, hell, and creation. 9 is a number whose square root is 3, a number which is symbolic of the three dimensions. Nasut, abode of mortals; Malakut, abode of the Anunnaki Elohim; Lahut, abode of the Most High. 9 is the number when multiplied reproduces the same figures from up to down and from down to up and equals itself. 9 ether was placed in the follicle case of all Nubians, and it produces the 9 symbol. Meaning, when you see white people, their hair is flanked. They have a curved root in their scalp, but their hair comes out straight on top. That makes the number 6. That's an inverted 9. Black people have a straight root and a curved shaft. That's what you call a kingly head, or what you call a nap. That's the number 9. That's what your hair makes. 9 ether was placed in the follicle case of all Nubians, and it produces the 9 symbol. When the number 9 is inverted or perverted, it becomes the number 6, the number of the disagreeable Elohim and their nature. Hence, 9 ether is the original creator with 9 ether hair, who grew all the universes. In the Wapu, the word creation means growth into form or system or both. And the word destruction means change in form or composition or both. 9 ether is conscious awareness and conscious moral judgment gases. The new being waves came along with the original creation. That is, the same kind of ether forces that grew the universes. And their evolutionary descendants are the personification of the original created forces. The first physical beings created in the universes in their spirit form, 9 ether, then personified themselves as flesh and blood beings, Adamites. There are 2 kinds of ether: 9 ether, agreeable, benevolent Elohim; 6 ether, disagreeable, malevolent Elohim. 9 ether produces 6 ether, and 6 ether produces ghost. 9 ether becomes 6 ether through time and age, and 6 ether becomes ghost through time and age. 6 ether is 9 ether in death, and ghost is the death of 6 ether. After the death of 6 ether, called the moon or ghost cycle, 9 ether rises again. Hence, 6 ether is a verse to 9 ether, just as death is a verse to life. 9 ether is ether in its youth, strength, and old age, and 6 ether is ether in death. Therefore, ghost is the death of death. Like everything else, when death gets old, it dies. and ether comes back to life in the person of 9 ether. The Ethiopian, ether utopian forces of nature. The sun, Elroy, called Ra, and the other 2 stars generate ether. But 9 ether first generates the physical bodies of the suns, or stars. Right? In other words, the suns, the 2 stars of the universes, are self-created, meaning self-grown by the very power that they now reproduce from the all. They are the seraphims, agreeable Elohim. The science of Wapo tells you just how and when, but it suffices to state at this time that evolution or secondary creation started 17,250,000 years ago, and it was performed by 6 ether beings whose science is Rehoah, which tells them how to destroy and disrupt, and just when it will suffice. They are the manifestation of those terrible, disagreeable Elohim, and 6 ethers known today as Leviathan, Zeus, Lord, Baal, Satan, Kadhut, Kahanas, Nakash, Samael, Jupiter, Vishnu, Saul, Moloch, Iblis, Od, Shaitan, Jinn, Shikar, Devil, Legbar, Beelzebub, Lucifer, Azazel, etc. 6 ethers, also known as Sin, Siva, Animus, Tahuti. Okay, 6 ethers, also known as Sin, Siva, Animus, Tahuti, Set, God, etc. And his rune of ghost manifestation. Evolution was partial destruction of original creation, because destruction is change in form or composition or both. In order to create, you have to destroy something else for this new thing that you're trying to create to exist. 6 ethers, the evolutionary forces of ether with less gases than 9 ether. Therefore, it has a different nature than 9 ether. And this is why the hair of the Anunnaki, original man, was woolly. Ham's son, Canaan, was the first human albino. And he had woolly hair, but his genes were defective. And it resulted in a thinner texture of hair, which means this hair has less strength than the woolly hair of the new beings, because woolly hair was produced by a more potent gas formula, 9 ether. There are many Nubians and people of color that have straight hair. It's just a scientific fact. I'm one of them. It's just a scientific fact that the curlier the hair, the stronger the gene, meaning more gases in the formula. 6 ether is conscious gases. Ghost is conscious gases, which has less various gases in it than 6 ether. Therefore, ghost is a weaker gas combination than 6 ether, just as 6 ether is weaker than 9 ether. 9 ether is effective fluid fire. Ghost station or tertiary creation was done by God, ghosts, 6,000 years ago. And this is one reason why their descendants taught the captive, these new beings that so-called God created the world and man 6,000 years ago. Now that thing falls on the face of a lie. The white man said the world was created 6,000 years ago because that's when he was created, 6,000 years ago. But how does that explain dinosaurs in a museum? Or how long it takes to make diamonds? You know, I'm just saying, he said everything was created 6,000 years ago. All right. Say it again.
Lulu Amalu.
Somebody had a statement? Say it again. You have a statement?
Yes, I was saying the woman that was found, her skeleton, Lucy.
Where was she at? What are you saying?
She was talking about Lucy.
Can you hear me?
And the Lucy.
Oh, yeah, Lucy. Yeah, Lucy. That's right. But you see, the thing is, the trick is that was a true story about Lucy. She was found in Ghana, Africa. But when they made the movie, they made Lucy a white woman. Do you understand? Look up Lucy on the internet, and she's a black African. That's what they do. They change everything.
Sexual.
They try to change everything into the image of a leopard. Okay. However, they did not tell the captives they meant the Caucasian world and the Caucasian man or race. The spirituality of their God is religion. The Caucasians of the planet Earth were the beginning of their God's creation 4,000 years before 2,000 years ago. That's 6,000 years. When 6 ether reaches its climax in evolution, it produces ghost, and ghost is God. The offspring of 9 ether is the new being, the woolly-head Ptah, or pygmies, also called evolutionary man. The offspring of 6 ether is the cherubim, the straight-haired original man. The offspring of ghost is the Caucasian race, the straight-haired moon cycle man, who was extracted from the original man through the ghost process, the curse of leprosy. When seen with the spiritual eye, ghost looks like haze or fog. This means that ghost is pale and thereby the last stage of color. Hence, since the Caucasian race came into being by ghost station, it has less color than any other race. All the original Canaanites had silver or yellow hair, white skin, and blue eyes, except one tribe, the Hamathites. But the race now has various degrees of mixture with darker people. The etymological original meanings of the English language words are an education in itself, because it opens the eyes and shows how the Canaanites have changed the value, meaning, and purpose of things in order to set up supremacy for their kind. The word God is an example. In order to make his creator stronger through belief and deception, he had to state that it is the one supreme being and called it the Almighty. However, the definition he gives for the word God is not the complete definition of the one supreme or Almighty. The one supreme is infinite, of omnipotent nature, who has innumerable parts and powers called Anu, or Al-Elo, the source, the supreme being, appointed by Al-Kalum, the All, to be part of what is called the Elohim, the spirit beings, supreme beings. God, therefore, can only be a motivating and activating part of the evil one, their supreme being, the evil supreme being. The Almighty gives them their power over you. If you pray to their deities by name, you help give them power to keep you down. For all is all in everything existing, living and dead, visible and invisible, male and female, good and evil angelic beings, flesh and spirit, etc. The only name attribute that is sufficient as the right name of the One Supreme is one that means all and everything existing, all space, all matter, all time, and their products, and the word God does not fit this definition. The etymological original meaning of the word God is ghost, and ghost is of death. Ghost is God and spirit of the cemetery or necropolis. Ghost is God of the dead, mental and physically dead. Ghost is God and God is ghost. The word ghost means gas. It is the gas of death for Nubians and life for Caucasians, because Caucasians are its offspring. The manifestation of the ghost started with Cain killing Abel and has been magnifying and manifesting itself through killing and death ever since. Now, all people on earth kill, as evidenced by the Bible and its history. And when reading the stories of the Bible, the people of it are about murder, war, rape, incest, lies, deception, prostitution, betrayal, and favoritism. Stories of love, peace, and happiness are rare, and this is your so-called holy book, Ghost Ether. Lo, the English Bible is the manifestation of Leviathan, 6 ether, and ghost. Leviathan, 6 ether fire, produces ghost in goat-like hair, dog hair, jackal-like hair. Leviathan is called Jesus and Baal, Lord, and ghost is called God and Christ, the manifestation of the false Jesus. 6 ether started with the evolution 17,250,000 years ago, and the manifestation of Krishna, the Hindu deity of ghost called Christ, started with Zakra and the Cable through Cain, approximately 42,000 years ago. Therefore, God, ghost, is a part of the one supreme being and not of the supreme Almighty itself. When seen with the spiritual eye, ghost looks like haze or fog. In light of the previous knowledge about ghost or God, I am using God in the English language spelled with a small g. However, whether the word God is spelled with a small g or capital G, the original meaning of the word is the same, but a different definition is given to God. Yet God, capital, or God, small, is still ghost. Moreover, graveyard forces, and those who wear this cross is a shield of Christianity. The graveyards also bear the cross. Thus, the cross becomes the symbol of death, and death is related to ghost, which is very depressive, repressive, and oppressive by nature. This is why, if they do not have some other race or races to suppress, they will oppress and destroy themselves. The word gospel means ghost spell, or spell of the ghost, which is the same as spell of God. One knows the nature of God by knowing the nature of the Caucasian race. The etymological original meaning of the name Jesus is gases, conscious fire gases. Jesus, Leviathan, in its moon, that is, ghost manifestations called Theos or Therius, Anubis, Hermes, Sin, Siva, Nana, Dinah, Queen, God, Christ, etc. The spirit forces called Jesus are male and female. The female forces are the dominant. Most other Caucasians accept the false Jesus because they found out it produces ghosts, and ghost is their sustainer and creator. The birth of myth and mythology, which gave birth to theories and theology, the removal of facts and reality. Their false Jesus, who is really Jehovah, Zeus in short, it becomes Jah-Zeus, Jesus. He gave the other Caucasians a chance to get back at the Israelites for refusing to share riches of true spiritual and universal knowledge with them. Their Jesus, their sixth spirit ether, is no friend of the new being people. This is why Africa today, above the Sahara Desert, is mostly in the hands and control of people other than Nubians. The name you call Jesus was the savior of their race, and because you saw him as someone God had sent, as the goat deity Pan, by whose sacrifice would keep Caucasians in ruling power, by turning justice from the guilty until the end of the moon cycle. The wise neither judge a spiritual book by its cover, nor by the writings that is found in it, because both can be very deceiving. The way the wise judge spiritual books or religion is by what the leaders, the adherents, believers of that book or religion do, not what they say or what the book states, because as it is said, action speaks louder than words, and you know the tree by the fruit it bears. In other words, one knows what the spirit forces of a book or religion represent by knowing what the leaders and the adherents of that religion do. So, if spiritual books and religions are judged by the actions of the adherents rather than by the words, this tells you that the spirit forces of their books and religions are dragon and monster forces, speaking beautiful words from hot mountains and bushes and flames of fire and making melodious music, and at the same time murdering people and taking their lands, oppressing, suppressing, stealing, lying, and ravishing the earth. So all this means that Negroes know not what you are worshiping, yet what you worship are spirit monsters of the necropolis like Frankenstein, Dracula, the zombie, the mummy, the werewolf, spirit dragons and demons like the eighth man, the dragon serpent, the cat man, the crocodile, reptilians, etc. Those spirit dragons, spirit monsters, and spirit demons are ghosts of sixth ether or both. Those demon spirits are the nature of the alien religion new beings believe in. And this is another reason why the descendants of the sixth ether and those like them kill or have it done by others possessed and think nothing of it. The favorite diet of those sadistic spirit monsters is the blood of the innocent, and their favorite pastime is the suffering of the innocent and mentally dead. When possessed by those spirit demons and ghouls, The person becomes the likeness of them and will prey upon the mental dead and innocent like the ghouls prey upon corpses. The names nymphs, dryads, and homodry are names of lesser deities of sex that are usually depicted as beautiful women. Nymphomania is defined as excessive sexual desire by a female. This is no surprise, since the woman has the power to entice, seduce, and lure the male of the species. Lure ties in with lair, lard, and lord by the way of phonetics. Lord or laird is a name used for the monkey people of the first breed of aborigines. Lairs are a troop of spirit monkeys well known in ancient times. The chief among the troop of spirit monkeys was called the lair or the laird. In Egyptian theology, the Lord is called Thoth or Tahuti and was worshipped as the chief spirit monkey. That was the ancient deity of wisdom and magic. Therefore, some spiritual men call themselves monks today. The spirit monkey is one of the many spirit forms of the false Jesus. The crocodile, the lion, the eagle, the serpent, the horse, and dogs such as animals of Kemet, and other forms of the zodiac are spirit forms of the false Jesus. The zodiac has many forms that are not shown in encyclopedias and dictionaries. The zodiac is canon, the evolutionary forces cast from the sun 5,994 years ago. After the great flood, Mother Earth and the female energies were referred to as a woman, Anak, a female demon in ancient times. Their Christ child called Canaan, Albina, ghost-like, came from Noah. After Christ is a moon word, which refers to the moon, and to the Christ Christian child, are children called Caucasians. Canaan had silver and yellow hair, and pale pink skin, like the color of ghost. The Hindu moon deity Sin or Sinji is known as Ishtar in Sumerian culture, and thus set up a whole new religion. The original meaning of the word Sin, a name of the moon deity, is the same as that of Christos and Christ. The group called Atumites, with the ruler Atum and Queen Lilith, who were the Cuttites tribes, were the first dark people converted to the moon god's way of life, or rather way of death, called Christianity, which upholds the symbol of the cross, which is a known symbol of death. Because why do Christians and the Grand Dragon use the cross, and the Pope and the Grand Dragon have the same outfit on? Hence Canaan, Ham, and Selha's son were the first natural-born Christians, meaning the first Christians by nature. This fact was verified when God goes past the cross and is followed from the Hindu to Canaan. Christian means people living under the sign of the cross, which was later adopted by the Aryan race. The swastika is also known as a broken cross, which is an ancient symbol originally used to denote harmony with nature, the four winds, the four seasons, and the 4 points of the compass, usually shown with the arms pointed other way opposite the way of the swastika's arms turn. The arms turned the way of the swastika denotes forces turned against nature and out of harmony, like homosexuality. It's two men mounting each other. The moon god, ghost, or Christ is Krishna, the god they extracted from the Phoenician and East Indian people. Christ is your ghost, the death gases. The moon deity Anubis is the part of Leviathan that produces ghosts. Therefore, ghost and God are the same. The Caucasian race inherited its colonizing nature from the Phoenicians and its caste nature from the Hindu. No one can be a real Jew or Christian by nature, but a Caucasian. Christianity was called the heathen's religion in Old Testament days, and Moloch, a fire deity. The worship of Moloch still requires human sacrifices and is dominant throughout Christendom. The Negro mentally dead does not know what it means to accept an alien religion. For example, if a person accepts Hinduism or Mohammedanism as his religion, he should know that he has accepted the East Indians or Arabs as his visible deities. That's why they dress like them and want to look and be like them, which is other than your own self. Neither can it become equal with or have power over the East Indian or Arabs, so he becomes their slave again. This happens because he has been accepted as the superior power. The same way it is with Judaism or Christianity or any other religion that is alien to you. If a new being person accepted Islam or Christianity as his religion, he has accepted the Caucasian as his visible God, because their God is depicted as Caucasian. And neither can that person become equal with or have power over Caucasians, because the Caucasian has been accepted as the superior power in those religions, being the image of God is in their image. This is why trying to obtain liberty and equality in any alien religion is a cruel hoax. Hinduism is the spirituality and power of the East Indian. Hinduism and Christianity are the religions and power of the Caucasian race. Yours is Nawapu, the way of the Anunnaki. The world of religion needs to be dismantled. You can't agree on anything because everyone has their own personal God. The differences between each religion are always pointed out. However, the similarities are never talked about. For example, each religion believes that there is an almighty force that does exist. You'd be eliminating the world's problems with the elimination of religion. Nevertheless, if a person accepts his own spiritual science, Nawapu, he has accepted himself and his own kind as the superior power. Then the visible and invisible forces and powers can easily work for you and with you for liberation and well-being. All religion is alien by nature to you except the spiritual science, Nawapu. Nawapu is the equalizer for you anywhere and any time. You must embrace the purpose and the plan and must develop the power to execute the purpose and the plan. Idleness and ignorance must play no part in the plan. You must take the plan and pursue the purpose. The purpose must be mental and physical liberation from adverse forces. The plan must be in pursuit of the purpose via right knowledge, right wisdom, and right understanding. Because right knowledge through right wisdom tells you what to do, when to do, where to do, and how to do what you must do, what must be done in pursuit of the purpose. You get the power to execute the purpose and plan by rejecting the oppressor's religion and his spirit forces, including the names of his spirit forces. Control your thinking with right knowledge. Control of your physical activities, including your sexual desires. To elaborate a bit further on the first step to power mentioned in the previous paragraph, you must first pass the capability test. The capability test determines whether your mind is capable of growing in and with the new sun cycle, the revolutionary cycle. You have passed the capability test when you are able to actually deny and reject the alien religions, spirit forces, and names of their spirit forces such as God, the false Jesus, Lord Christ, God, etc. There is no growth in a person unless he is able to pass this test. Mind power is the greatest power in the universe, and you as a race are greatly in need of it in order to think and do for yourselves, independent of other races, and other races are independent of you. Again, in the days of old, the second step to power is the acceptance of right knowledge by the practice of it. Then universal forces can and will work for you and with you to achieve your goals. The third step is controlling your various emotions and getting things accomplished through right knowledge, sound reason, and sound action, instead of trying to escape from your responsibilities through strong drinks, drugs, and sexual gratification. The less pleasure you have, the less your burden of liberation will be. A male person who does not control his sexual self is ruled by women or sex because he is a slave to sex. This does not mean that those of the kind should not have sexual relationships, but it does mean that it should be controlled and channeled in the best interest. If a man or woman can't control their sex, get away from them, they will self-destruct and destroy others with them. Controlling sex means having sexual intercourse without selfish desires, and that unnatural acts are against the laws of nature. Sex is a heavy burden on any race, with the section of that race is out of control. And you as an oppressed and captive people cannot afford any extra burdens such as extra sexual activities, strong drinking, and using dope for those pleasures stymie your growth. Having too much pleasure and too many children are great burdens. Women should not have to take cancer-producing drugs to keep from having too many children. All right, Andrew, are you still here? Andrew.
I'm here, too.
Can you read loud?
I'm here.
Can you take up where we left off and read it loud and clear?
Yep.
Okay, verse 160, go ahead.
Let's see here. 160. Okay. Because the husband should be the controlling factor, sex must also be channeled in the best interest of the human race. There is great power in sex, and there is great power in the semen. And when he shares that power with the female, if that female is not for the best interests of his race, like the moon converts gases from the sun to negative forces, she will convert much of the semen from the male to negative forces, with the help of the enemy oppressor, and they will give birth to black and white devils working to destroy that race.
That's right. And some of those black devils be occurring.
Yeah. Nekeba, Eve, converted Cadmon's power into agreeable forces, and women have stopped doing that increasingly since then. But now you do it for Leviathan ever since, turning the children against their father. So, males must awaken the woman with right knowledge and give them on the side of liberation, mentally, spiritually, physically, and sexually, by guiding them right and refusing to be so free with your sexual power. Then build a culture, protective, and an economic foundation for your women and children in your own communities, so that women will have no excuse to let men of other races use them as sexual dumping grounds, as they use them and exploit them now. Lovemaking, in the form of sexual affairs with the alien enemy in all walks of life, is one reason why women do not desire to support the communities today for future well-being for your descendants. For nobody likes for anyone to talk about his or her lover, sweetheart, etc. And that is what you are doing when you talk to the woman about liberating themselves. The women who are easy prey for men of other races, especially Tamahu men, because they are ignorant to the facts. They are in economic traps and are stigmatized by the enemy's religion. His religion softens up women to become his easy victims. Just look at who they teach God is or what Jesus looks like. 184. Of course, your women think she wants them. To be with them is to be with God. But it is time for a change. Right knowledge organizes and unifies the minds individually and collectively. If knowledge is not to be confusing and thereby ineffective, it must be in sequence. Knowledge received must be in organized sequence in order to put the mind in order and unity. Organize and put your minds in unity and order enough, in unity and order enough to qualify for your own effective spiritual science called Nuwabu. It will clear the fog and your single eye will reopen. Clairvoyance, clear vision will return and you will see again. Nuwabu and the forces and powers thereof are liberty, equality, justice, rightness, and proper survival for new beings everywhere. Nuwabu and the powers that make it effective and binding are the equalizers in all fields of necessity and endeavors in which other races offer contest. The liberation forces are not their God, their false Jesus, their Lord, their Christ, nor the spirit power names of any other race. The liberation forces of Nuwabians, new beings by nature, is Nine Ether, whose scientific name will be disclosed in the science Nuwabu. Nine Ether is the original creative forces. Nine Ether grew from 9 to the ninth power of 9, a symbol of beyond infinity. Its opposer, the so-called Jews, who considered the head and chosen by the god of the Tamahu race, because the Jews have at least 1,000 years of universal knowledge, culture, and know-how on the other Tamahus, and thereby the Jews are richer, wiser, more observing, and more deceptive than the other Tamahus, and they are really the Aryan race. When Leviathan, producing god-ghost-tized Tamahus from the Phoenician and East Indian peoples, Canaan eventually renamed everything, took over the rulership, and finished up God's creation as you see the many man-made things today, altered and increased by the Tamahu race. Most things you see today that were created by people existed in time immemorial. But like the evolutionary forces changed much of original creation, God's creation, the Tamahu race altered much of what the Nubian, Batahite, Ethiopian, Cushite, and original Sumerians had done and created. Ghost and its seed are the death of death, meaning 6 ether represents death, and ghost is the death of 6 ether. That is ghost, ruler of the moon cycle, and its seed, the albino race, marked the end of any evolution. There is no other stage of evolution after ghost. Therefore, after the cycle of ghost, evolution reverses, meaning the revolutionary cycle takes over. That's powerful. Nuwabu informs you that knowledge is knowing. To know is knowledge. Knowledge is mental power. Knowledge is correct information. Of course, knowledge can be thought, spoken, or written. Knowledge is the best information. Wisdom is knowing how and when to use knowledge. Overstanding is receipt of knowledge by the mind, and is the unity of knowledge and wisdom. The greater one's mental power is the greater one's mental power is, the greater are the things he can do and will do. Your mental power is deeply lacking, and this is the biggest block between you and reality, between you and the facts which keep you in the spell of religion and its spookism. Nuwabu is right knowledge, wisdom, and overstanding, and this is what you need to restore your powerful mind of right reason. By this day and time, most of your brain power that is left is being used to support and maintain the alien power structure of his belief and the pursuit of his images and likenesses. You are literally out of your mind. That means not using your mind, not loving your image nor your likeness, but living in the likeness and worshiping the image of the beast. For example, most Nubian college student graduates and professors use what they know to keep the Tamahus in power and domination over themselves and their own kind by simply looking for and being content with a mere job in their power structure. And that helps to prolong the barbaric system. Instead of using what they know to build something of their own, by helping develop their communities into profitable economic neighborhoods run by Nuwabian people, the same as students and graduates of other races, do to a much greater degree than you. Another part and phase of this major power structure is the churches. Preachers of the gospel, ghost spell proclaim that they do not like white supremacy. At the same time, Tamahu supremacy is taught in Sunday school and in the pulpit. For instance, in most churches and church books, they show the false Jesus as being white, the Son of God, the Jew, the chosen of God, and then teach that God is the Almighty and one supreme being. Your children and adults go outside and they see the Tamahus ruling and he has everything. So they are thoroughly convinced that the only thing for them to do is serve the chosen of God, that is white supremacy in one of its rawest forms. The forces of Leviathan are beginning to put it in the preacher's minds to keep you deceived longer and deeper by proclaiming that Jesus was black, or at least of the darker people. But the false Jesus and God in any color are no friends of yours, and the brutal enslavement, barbarous oppression, and bestial lepredation, one-sided forced sexual mixing under Tamahu religion and civilization are proof of their Jesus and God's enmity to you beyond any reasonable doubt. No spiritual force, but an enemy force, would help anyone do to you what has been done and is still being done to you. What children should be taught are the facts, and that your spiritual power and spiritual science are not the same, and those of the Tamahu race or any other race. Before you can ever get respect from the world's people again, you must first regain trust and respect through proper protection. Proper protection means putting women in a position that they will be the Nakeba, tribal leaders, instead of the chambermaid. This means building moral and economic communities with all the resources that you have access to, spearheaded by right knowledge, proper teachings, and sexual discipline, as well as other restraints necessary. But female counterparts must realize and understand that they must help you become rulers, kings. This means you are the original rulers or kings. After this, they can take their position as rulers, and this means they have to stop making love to men of other races and start using their energies and mentalities to help maintain their supremacy by not supporting his kind of society and his churches. The preacher and imam is a non-productive religious parasite who preys on the poor, the gullible, and the unreasonable in underdeveloped communities by stirring up their emotions and deceiving the people about heaven and after death. Many women in the United States are fully possessed by Tamahu men, physically, mentally, educationally, occupationally, spiritually, economically, and sexually. They live their lives to be and look like women that are portrayed through the media, even if they pretend they are into a black thing. Deep in their hearts, they feel these women are a symbol of beauty and success. And most males are also possessed by them in various ways. But I capitalize the word sexually in the case of women because there is a special campaign underway by Leviathan to destroy racial identity through the sex of women, and at the same time destroy all moral fiber that you may still have. Leviathan is using men of other races to accomplish destroying racial identity. The only one who will ever check that diabolical scheme of mankind and its forces is the male through proper teaching, protection for, and direct appeal to women. Leviathan is a giant sex and spirit force. This was in reality Halal, the son of Tarnish, who is able to control people and nations by sex and by spirit, generated from blood and the waters of the earth. Leviathan has many spirit members and parts distributed through the earth caste, from the sun people of Gan, the enclosed garden, just before the evolutionary cycle began. Some women know that they are working against the best interest of their people and do it deliberately, because they are gold diggers, degenerates, and opportunists who want to please the master, and seducer who keeps them in power. Other women are just ignorant to what's going on, and yet there are still others driven to do things that they would not do, but yet do them because of their poverty-stricken condition. One of the best ways to check women is to give them right knowledge and see that they and their children get proper protection and provisions by way of you males. Some may wonder, why am I using the word Negro when referring to mentally dead Nubian people? It is because as long as you people have negative and slave minds, you are still Negroes, no matter what other names you choose to call yourselves. And by calling themselves something other than Negro, deceives you into believing that you are not Negroes anymore. Therefore, I continue to call the mentally dead by the name Negro. For this emphasizes the fact that a person does not become something else just by changing his name, but instead by changing his mind. After the mind is changed by the knowledge of resurrection, then it is proper to change the name. When the negative and slave mind of the Negro is changed by right knowledge, wisdom, and overstanding, she will automatically cease being a Negro, and everybody will know it by his words and works. The slave master taught 9 ether woolly-haired people that it was disobedience to God that caused enslavement of any kind. But Nuwabu informs you that is a cheap and cynical falsehood designed to falsely justify the enslavement of people. Nuwabu discloses that the opposites by cycle and law of nature cannot rule on earth equally at the same time. The slave master taught the Nubian slaves that God put a curse of black skin and kinky hair upon you. Nuwabu teaches you that it is purely false, because Nubians had black or brown skin and woolly hair from the original creation, before this planet Earth. And black skin provides the best protection against exposure and disease, and woolly hair means that the sun genes, the genes of life, much stronger in woolly-haired people than they are in straight-haired people. Hence, woolly hair is a sign of life and originality. However, Nuwabu does agree that God did put a curse on darker peoples, but the curse is not woolly hair and black skin. Instead, the curse that God put on you following a way that leads to death. Instead, the curse that God put on you following a way that leads to death. In the 17,250,000 year period of evolution, Leviathan would have ghostized, bleached everybody. By the laws of the opposites of nature forbade it. But the laws of the opposites of nature forbade it, and those laws are binding. God, the creator of the Tamahu race, represents riches for them and poverty for you. Except for those people willing and ready, or a price, to step on the necks of their race of people, while doing the wishes and wills of their master. The Bible is a book tampered with and thereby possessed by will and power that spellbinds the weak-minded, the gullible and ignorant, that opposing forces may rule. But the cycle for the Bible was the moon cycle, and that cycle is ending. Their deity exists indeed, but it does not exist in your favor. Neither preachers nor imams nor anyone else know who God is, unless he knows what God is and the nature of the substance of God. They know who their God is and what their God is. God and devil are opposite sides of the same thing, Leviathan. This means that their God is not going to destroy the devil, as the Bible pretends and deceives, because destroying the devil means destroying Leviathan, and that would be the end of their deity. For Leviathan produces their god, Ghost. Yet their god is the death of Leviathan, in the sense that the moon cycle marks the climax and end of evolution, and Leviathan is the evolutionary forces. If one knows the nature of the Tamahu, he knows the nature of their deity, and if they are made in the image and after his likeness, for the Tamahus are the children of the god, Ghost. Their nature is to oppress and cause you suffering and death. It stands to reason that the oppressive slave master did not and will not give the slave anything which he thinks may one day liberate the slave. Therefore, you know that the Bible and the spirit forces thereof will never liberate the captive. Hence, the power of Nuabu and the only liberation forces are woolly-haired people everywhere. The powers in Nuabu are knowledge, reason, and 9 ether. There is a special project underway by Leviathan to further leopardize and ghostize your race, the world of the woolly-haired people, by changing original hair and original color and original features to those of other races. In other words, destroy beautiful woolly hair and pretty dark brown skin by one-sided racial miscegenation, which is one-sided racial sexual mixing. They are creating a new race or neutral race where you can't tell their nationality. Leviathan is using straight-haired men and women in its attempt to destroy you through the sexual use of woolly-haired women and men. Male, new being, must also refuse to have sexual relationships with alien women and refuse to mongrelize their seed by refusing to father offspring by women of Tamahu races. The hybrids born from interracial mixing are not accepted in the Canaanite race, and they are not accepted by the Nubian race. So that leaves another human without an identity. The only way you can correct this problem is through the acceptance of right knowledge, right wisdom, and right understanding, which lead to right thinking and right actions and right reasoning. Being careful how 6 ether subliminally seduces 9 ether into the worship of 6 ether. A woolly-haired woman should never buy a Canaanite doll for her child, because that mentally and spiritually ties the child to the Canaanite race and compels the child to think it is all right for her to have real babies that look like the doll. Buying Nubian of Nubian new being dolls for Nubian children goes a long way toward restoring racial pride and self-respect in the eyes and minds of children, as well as the restoration of respect from other races. There is nothing wrong with identifying with whatever race or culture you are from, because that's you, be it with your dress, your hair, your features, or your way of life. And you should not, nor should anyone else, make you feel intimidated or inferior because of it. When Europeans identify with France, Germany, Holland, England, Poland, Scotland, it's considered being cultural. When you identify with Egypt, Nigeria, Sudan, Ethiopia, it's considered a cult. The Tamahu's last stand perpetuate his spell, influence, and rule. His rule is his woman, the Tamahu women. He used to let an old Tamahu woman slip out of his hand once in a while to one of his real good Negro captives. But when you see the Tamahu, the oppressor, letting his girls and young women go hand in hand with Negroid males, that is a true sign of the decline and fall of Tamahu power and rule, because he will only let some of his young women go freely or reluctantly in order to try to keep the oppressed confused, deceived, and spellbound for the purpose of remaining master as long as possible. The Tamahu race is using all the tricks available to keep you from regaining liberty, equality, justice, and rightness. But when you get a hold of right knowledge and accept it, your wisdom and understanding grow. And that person is able to see all the tricks of the oppressor and take the right steps to avoid them by help of the forces of nature. If you don't take the proper and necessary steps to change yourselves, then you deserve to be mistreated. You are your own responsibility. The help you seek is at the end of your arm. Duwabians are becoming aware. They are waking up to all the deceptions and lies for the first time since the ruler Cheops 5,000 years ago. Woolly-haired people are being given the real choice between right and wrong, knowledge or ignorance, liberty or serfdom, equality or inequality, justice or injustice, life or death, own spiritual science, Nuwabu, or alien religion, meaning liberty with nine ether or captivity with God in Jesus or Muhammad worship called Islam. When sufficient circulation of these choices has been completed and sufficient time has been allowed to accept or reject these choices through overstanding, Armageddon will climax with fire, artificial fire, and natural fire. The last war of the moon cycle is Armageddon. Armageddon will start before the end of the moon cycle and will continue until the universe, including orb Earth, is in the rule of liberty, rightness, justice, and equality again. Armageddon is the war of the resurrection of the dead, the mental dead. Armageddon is the showdown between right and wrong, between life and death. If a Negro, male and female, can read and study this tablet and still have the same old negative mind and same old negative spirit, that makes a person a black devil and keeps a person a Negro. That individual is incapable of being resurrected from the mental dead and is definitely detrimental to the cause of new being progress and well-being, because that person is indeed on the side of the enemy of liberty, equality, justice, and nationalism. Furthermore, if a Negro simply reads these teachings and the knowledge in them and does not start a growing fire for mental resurrection, liberty, and equality, that person is dead forever and is a bigger liability to progress and well-being than the alien enemy himself, because you know the alien enemy on sight. But those enemies among you that look like you are more dangerous.
That's right.
For the only way you know them is by their words or deeds or both. Therefore, the enemies among you that look like you are enemies of right Nuwabians' goals, the same as the alien oppressor. They are black devils. Nuwabu is the best knowledge, wisdom, and overstanding. The Wabu is the equalizer anywhere and anytime, and it will be disclosed when the minds of all woolly-haired people with the ability to identify themselves with nine-ether have been qualified. And that time is now, right now, if accepted and diligently studied as well as read. This tablet is dedicated and designed to separate the sheep from the goat, separate those who can make it from those who cannot make it, those who are not flexible enough to reform and conform to right knowledge through sound right reasoning, will not survive Armageddon. The showdown between right and wrong is on right now. Come join your own.
I love you, Andrew. And that's the Andrew I'm looking for. Okay. You heard some people that was hanging up.
Thank you, sir.
I love you.
Right.
Yeah. And that's the sad, unfortunate part of it. I also want to remind the brother Patah, you know, like I said, all of your DVDs, CDs, and your Mount Atomic Right Pot of Gold have been returned, and I'm giving you more than you lost. I stand behind my word, of course. All right. I wanted to read, and I want all of you to go and look up the doll test on YouTube. Now, this one short I want to read. The news. Please start fix your phones. Tablet 13. Lo, please start fix your phone. Lo, what are they, the Enocytes, human beings, asking each other about? It is about the Naba, Supreme News, Nawapu, that which they humans are mutalafan, different. Nevertheless, they Enocytes will soon learn about the science of Nawapu. Nevertheless, they will really learn. Did we Elohim Anunnaki not make the planet Earth, Ki, Tiamat, in landscape form to live on, and the mountains as landmarks? And we Anunnaki procreated you Enocytes in pairs, male and female, and we made your Enocytes sleep of time for resting, and we made the Layla shadow hour period of total covering, and we made the daytime for the making of livelihood, and over you we built 7 strong, lasting firmaments, and we Elohim made a bright lamp, shining sun, and by the squeezing of the clouds we sent water pouring down, rain, so that we Elohim Anunnaki could bring forth grain and plants and Janat of thick foliage. Surely the day of judgment, Al-Fossil, is appointed, the end of all this, a day when the trumpet will be blown by the Elohim Anunnaki, Raphael, and you will come in separate groups, the Nubians, the Mongolians, and the Caucasians. All right? Now, what it is, I want you all to realize, let me go on, and the heavenly skies, 19, will be open like doors. The mountains were made to move as if they were a mirage. They are. Surely they humans will find purgatory. Jehannam was waiting. It will be the final place for those who go to any extreme to do wrong. That's right. Staying in it, hell, purgatory, for long periods of time. In it, hell, the Enocytes will taste nothing cool. They will have nothing to drink except for boiling water and pus, a punishment fitting their human deeds. Surely they Enocytes didn't anticipate the day of reckoning, the one to come. And they Enocytes denied our verses, the Quran, and rejected them. And everything that Enocytes humans do, we Elohim Anunnaki have recorded it down in a scripture. So taste the fruit of your Enocytes' deeds, and we will not increase for you Enocytes nothing but more pain. Surely those who tremble at the mention of Allah's name will be in a blissful abode of high-dieted gardens and vineyards, and there will be young pruvosant maidens, all of the Atrab, same age. All are the age 19, and a cup running over with goodness in it, the garden. They will not hear any lies or vain talk. This is a reward from your sustainer, who is Rab, a very satisfying gift. The Rab of the Samawat, skies, and the planet Ardent, Ki, earth, and all that is between them, is the merciful Al-Rahman. None will possess from him the right to address him On that day, the great soul, Al-Ruach, Michael, and all the heavenly messengers, Al-Malaikat, Elohim, Anunnaki, will stand in ranks, and no one will speak save him whom the source, Elilo, Allah, the merciful, has given permission to. That's right. And no one shall speak save he who speaks right. That is the day of Al-Haq, the facts. So whoever pleases, he may take a place of return unto his wrath. We, Elohim, surely warned you in a sense of a pain that is very near, a day when the person will see that which he committed, the agreeable and the disagreeable of his own hands, and he who conceals that which he knows to be the facts. Al-Kapar will say despairingly, if only I would dust Tarab. Now, I want y'all to understand that I feel the deficiency in the class tonight in numbers. Last class, we had a lot of new people coming in, many new people, and that means that you all are lagging on posting up and getting the people and doing your job as disciples. So I want to encourage you to go back to work and make sure that every class is more powerful with larger numbers than the last. You don't have much time. TikTok. Send your donations in. Write your testimonies about what you're learning from these classes. And know that you are truly loved. I love you all, and we should learn to love one another, and more importantly, relearn how to love yourselves. Nietzsche Authority, Amun-Rayay, Asa, servant to the 144,000. Peace.